Game of the Year nominees are announced for the Game Awards in the year of our Lord 2024, and among them I noticed a quaint little game I had never heard of before, Balatro. I thought to myself, an indie game nominated for Game of the Year. Surely it can't be that good, right? It was that good. My first play session of Balatro lasted roughly 8 hours. A trance-like experience I was jolted awake from, only after realizing I had work at my real-life job in merely 4 hours. The poor old lady at the register next morning thought I was high, and if I had told her my night was spent gambling away the precious time I had left on this earth, well, I would have been half right. Balatro is officially categorized as a deck-building roguelite, the roguelite part referring to the infinite repetitive nature of the game. You could play Balatro over and over again until the sun collapsed in on itself and turned the Milky Way galaxy into a cold, lifeless vacuum. I actually have some friends working hard on that goal as we speak. The deck building aspect is quite simple at a glance. You start with a basic deck of 52 playing cards and go strictly by poker rules, attempting to beat the ever-increasing chip score presented to you, with each poker hand giving a certain number of chips multiplied by a number based on how hard the hand is to create. You get 4 hands and 3 discards at a base level to try and beat each blind, while special boss blinds impose restrictions on you, forcing you to think on your feet from ante to ante, until you finally claw your way to the final ante and fight yourself a final boss with some sort of powerful ability. Different colors of stakes impose different challenges. Less discards to use, faster scaling, things get more difficult as the color rises, maxing out at gold stake. How are you going to keep earning higher and higher amounts of points? Different types of base decks will give you different bonuses, like the checkered deck being a flush machine as it's only made of spades and hearts. What else could help? Well, you can use planet cards to increase the base value of certain hands, tarot cards to twist the deck into the shape of your choice, or spectral packs to perform unholy actions to your cards, stripping them of the soul that forms their very essence. And while all of that seems pretty fun on its own right, I feel we need a word to describe the type of game Balatro becomes once you add the jokers into the mix, because things can get wacky fast. The first joker everyone will encounter will be Jimbo, the titular joker that performs the incredibly game-busting action of adding +4 to your multiplier. Other jokers get more complex, changing your score around on the chip and mult side, generating money for your precious economy, creating tarot and planet cards, blah blah blah. You can hold 5 jokers, and boy, does it really feel like you need every slot sometimes. Jokers are a crucial part of Balatro runs, and learning them all and their specific use cases will lead you to great success in your runs. The difficulty of Balatro does not come from executing mechanics, learning a rollout, no. It comes from knowledge, and maybe a bit of RNG. I myself have been practicing beating seeds regardless of how rough they may be to start, and it truly is a test of decision making and your inner knowledge of Balatro that makes subsequent runs easier and easier. Even to this day, I see newcomers posting about how they didn't realize you could rearrange jokers to have effects occur in a certain order, or rearrange played cards for the same effect, or the even lesser known idea that you can rearrange cards left behind in your hand so they activate in the desired order. More niche, but useful regardless. I could go on and on about small bits of tech, a lot of which I perfected in completing Balatro's various challenge runs it offers, such as beating a run playing 1 hand per blind, discards costing money, every card you play is immediately debuffed, making it useless. These are really cute challenges. Why do I hear boss music? All that talk about how cool and awesome jokers are? Yeah, you really realize that fact when you attempt the game's final challenge, Jokerless. This challenge completely eliminates the possibility you will ever receive a Joker, and it's just as rough of a gameplay experience as you think it would be. The lack of jokers means your only meaningful scaling comes from planet cards, and any sort of consistent hand you could create does not scale fast enough to actually keep up with the anti-scaling. This means enhanced cards and hands that play 5 cards at a time are necessary to barely survive and scrape your way to the finish line. Flush and full house builds are what I would recommend you focus on if even attempting to do this. They scale just enough and are 5-card builds, meaning you can have 5 different enhanced cards in action at any time. Straights would be recommended as well, but I could never quite get them to work, and I would often draw into a dead hand more often than with flush or full house. Ironically though, Jokerless Challenge does create a single Joker. It's me. After hours and hours of attempts were poured into the challenge, and I slowly felt my sanity being flushed from my brain with each actual flush played. Run after run lost as I slowly learned the proper strategies to use if RNG actually worked in my favor and I was allowed past ante 3 on a run. Attempt after attempt thrown at the wall in desperation, unknowingly sucking up information that would lead me to capitalize on an actually good seed. The run where I took a full house build all the way to the end, and even managed to crush the Violet Vessel final boss blind.
Oh, let's go. That was close.
Oh my god. Possibly the worst final boss blind to get in the challenge, as higher score is notoriously hard to come by without, jokers. As it stands, I'm still playing Balatro, even while writing this script. It's simply too addicting. My next goal is gold stake on every deck, and having to play around eternal jokers that can't be gotten rid of once you get them, or rental jokers that hurt your economy if you own them, it's interesting and keeps the game fresh. So beating every deck on gold stake is something I've been working diligently on instead of doing more important, actual work. But hey, that's what games are for, right? And a game like this is special, so the best compliment I can give it is that my video on it is short because I'm thinking about playing it too much. I'm the Joker, baby.